Hey guys, thanks so much for reading my article in this month's issue of Shutter Magazine. I wanted to expand on a couple points that I wrote about. The first was about the dissolution of a previous business. As a photographer, many of you have gone through a rebranding or a rebuilding of your business, and what I was able to take away from the dissolution of the business, at the time I didn't really realize why things didn't work the way I do. And hindsight's 2020, so I'm able to look back now, make sure that I'm able to dig deep and look at what went wrong, and outside of the myriad of other issues that went wrong, one of the biggest things was the team dynamic that we had. I'm based both on my personality, the personality of a partner I had, the personalities and sort of direction and team culture that we had with our staff and our employees. And I'm able to look back today and say, okay, what did we do wrong, and what can we actually take and learn upon? How can we use our past to determine and put in place the correct path for the future? So within your own business, you're able to look back and use the past to determine what you're going to do with with the team that you put in place for yourself as a photographer, as a studio, whether it's just yourself or whether you have a studio manager or assistants. Make sure that team is you're able to learn upon any mistakes that you have made previously. The second point that I wanted to expand upon was about where I'm at today. We were able to use the Gallup Strengths Finder test to determine our top 34 strengths from greatest to weakest. Those 34 strengths are very telling to who you are as a person, your personality traits, and what you need help with or what you're really strong with. In my situation today, my partner has the top two strengths are very complementary to my top two strengths. My top two strengths being adaptability and ideation. As a photographer, many of you will have adaptability and ideation as your core strengths, mainly because those are very creative-driven strengths. You're all over the board. You don't typically like to focus on one specific thing. You find interest in creative things. And my partner's top two strengths are focus and command. And the focus helps us make business decisions, and command helps keep us on track. And we're able to play off of each other's strengths and weaknesses. And because of that, as a photographer and as your own studio, you'd be able to look out and say, who are you surrounding yourself with that will help complement you and what you do. So that's one of the things that is really important within a personality test, whether you use this specific personality test or not, but making sure that you're able to keep people around you that really help drive home the fact that not every single one of your ideas might be great, or not every single one of your images is the best competition level image. Most images, or most teams, ultimately, the best working teams together are able to push back and give a little bit of feedback and make sure that that you actually have a dynamic that helps everybody move forward, as opposed to just a bunch of yes men around you. And my last point is about team culture and what team culture does to drive a high performing team. We use our culture to make sure that we are pushing each other to have the best customer service possible at all times. Do we fail? Absolutely. But we reach out and we help pick each other up. That culture helps us really feel like we are a family when we work together. We eat together. We spend time together outside of the studio. But at the end of the day, we also are willing to reach out and say, hey, you are doing something wrong, or that your idea is not right. So these things in terms of our culture allow us to be friends in and out of the business, but be able to have real conversations together, and that can really, I guess from the outside looking in, they can feel harsh. They can make you not necessarily feel warm and fuzzy inside, but realistically, the idea that you have people around you that everybody is marching to the same beat and moving forward to the same end goal is the most important thing, regardless of how big or small your studio is. The people around you must support you in your drive for success. Without that, you have nothing to really fall back on when things don't go perfectly right. And realistically in business, nothing ever goes perfectly right. So any way that you are able to have people around you and help drive that culture of success ultimately is important. So again, thanks guys for reading my article. I'll talk to you next month.